Well, hello there, and welcome to Dave and Jeremy Watch Star Trek for Some Reason, a podcast where Dave, that's me, and Jeremy, say hello, Jeremy.
That's me.
Yes, watch Star Trek all the way from the beginning. We're up to Star Trek, the original series, first season, episode 4, called The Naked Time. First aired September 29, 1966. Now,
Goodness.
this episode is one of the few of the original series that I am actually kind of aware of. Um,
Oh, okay.
and the reason why is that the events in this episode are directly referenced in the second episode of the first season of TNG, The Naked Now.
Oh,
And so it is one, as I say, one of the few TOS episodes that I'm vaguely aware of as to what actually happens and what goes on, because of course, in TNG that was the big episode where Data announced he was fully functional, and various other things went on.
hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that's what this episode is about. They do in TNG directly reference the events of an episode, and it was named very similarly. So I'm pretty sure this is the one that's involved, right?
Yep.
So you know the episode of TNG that I think I'm talking about.
I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
this will be fun
I'm
then.
familiar with TNG, but I'm not, closely familiar with every episode.
Okay, so basically, I'm the nerd, and
Yeah. Hey, shut up. Come
you're
on. Oh,
you're just
toot
along for
toot.
the ride. Oh, you're offended at not being a nerd. Oh,
I like Star Trek. Shut up. Hey,
yes.
once you get to TNG, you'll see me. Yeah, my true colors will shine through.
Yeah, yeah, we shall see. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be exactly what it is in TNG. I think the TNG plot even just follows the same plot. It's just a rewrite, literally, of this episode, except
Okay.
it was set in
Yeah.
TNG. So what I'm expecting is yeah, they go crazy and stuff happens. That's what it's going to be, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
What do you think it's going to be about then?
Oh, okay, fine. All right, I have to make something up. Beyond time. Well, I think there's some time travel involved, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you think there's time
Uh,
travel involved?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
it says it right there in the title. Time. Yep, the
That's
naked,
true. We
naked
haven't
now. No,
we
it
haven't
says naked now. Yeah, that's true.
This is the Naked Time. This is the
The
Naked
naked.
Time. Naked now is the TNG episode.
Oh, sorry. Naked time.
That's fine.
Well, I don't know. Either that, or it's a really bawdy episode where everyone just has a bit of a, good old time.
Yeah,
Runs around the
yeah.
ship naked, and
We
somebody
haven't.
has to stop it. No, I think what happens is, I think there is an aspect of time travel or time dilation or something like that, where things are happening out of order, or
That would be
something's wrong
quite.
with
That would be quite.
time.
That would be quite good.
You're telling me it's not that, then, aren't you?
What? No, no.
That's basically what you're
No,
alluding to.
no,
Don't
no.
try and
I'm
pull it
not
all over my
suggesting
ass.
that at all. um, but it is true. We haven't had a quintessential science sci-fi episode about time travel.
That's
Um,
true.
so we must be due for one, surely, at some point.
Mm.
But I don't know. We'll see. Um,
Yes.
this one was actually made a fair bit into the production run. It has production code number 7, so I
Ooh.
think that means it was made after Charlie X. Sorry for the burp. I'm not feeling particularly well. So yeah, oh, there we are. I've ruined that entire section.
That's okay. Let's just pretend that never happened, Dave, and
Let's pretend it never
smoothly
happened.
proceed.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Well, folks, we'll get on with watching this episode. I reckon. Do you reckon we'll do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
All right.
we'll give it a watch and we'll tell you what we thought.
Okay, it's time to make stupid noises.
Okay, oh geez, it's me again, isn't it? Here we go.
Yes, how many times have we done this? You know when it's time to make the stupid noise.
Look, here it is. Okay.
Right. Well, we've watched The Naked Time. Even though I mocked you endlessly for suggesting it was time travel,
Yeah.
at the end,
What
it's
happened,
all about time
Dave?
travel.
It's so contrived.
I don't understand that ending. That ending's just kind of like,
I
oh, by the
really
way, we have a magic formula for time travel. Isn't that great?
Exactly.
It's like, what
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
by the way, we just happened to do this thing. Oh, and don't worry, it's over now. It was never a problem, really. We just had to, like, slow to a stop and then warp again.
And then
I don't
warp
know
again.
why
Then
we were
we're
worried.
good. Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, no, that ending was really strange. The rest of the episode was great. It's kind of funny. I actually enjoyed that, I think, more than the TNG episode, which references it, where basically the same thing happens.
Oh, really? The same turn of events where a strange.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll watch it later, but
Yeah, we'll watch it later. But I actually enjoyed it a little bit more. I think I don't quite know why. I think it makes more sense in TOS, but I don't really know why.
well,
That
it's the first
everyone
time
gets drunk and goes weird.
Yeah, like it's the first time it's happened. Whereas surely the crew of the Enterprise D would know about that, right? Like,
I don't know.
you know.
No, there was something strange about the way it gets done in TNG. But we'll talk about it when we get to
Okay.
the TNG episode, because
True.
then we'll
Fair
be able
enough.
to
Fair
compare
enough.
them properly. But yeah, no, it's I hadn't seen it before, but I was aware of what was kind of going on, and it was actually, yeah, it developed nicely as an episode. I thought it flowed very nicely, even though it had, Kirk doing voiceovers explaining what was going to happen in the plot, which I thought was a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
really? Is okay? Right? Okay,
A
fine.
retrospective,
Your
from Captain Kirk. Yeah.
your captain's log is awfully prescient about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. Yeah, it was good. It was great to see Majel Barrett. And because of course, to me, that's the voice of the computer for 3 entire shows for 21
Exactly. Well,
seasons.
I can hear that voice as well. It's iconic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Absolutely.
yeah. And I thought it was kind of interesting, the bit with Nurse Chapel and Spock. And the only reason why I sort of thought that was interesting is that that's just been kind of expanded on a little bit in Strange New Worlds.
Oh,
So
really?
it's interesting now that bits of more modern Trek is going back and explaining how some of
Oh,
these things,
okay.
why these things are the way they are, right? Like it was probably written in the 1960s as just, there isn't really any context to this, we're just going to have these characters do this. But
Yeah.
then in later Trek, they go back and they explain why those things were true. Like they did in Enterprise, where they explain why Klingons all look very human in TOS.
All right.
Right. Which they glossed over in one of my favorite DS9 episodes, where they go back to the TOS Tribbles.
Well, they travel
episode.
back to TOS timeline, don't they?
Yeah, they travel back to TOS timeline. They go into the Tribbles episode that's coming up at some point. But yeah, it's interesting that there were clearly things that were written into some episodes that they probably didn't really have much thought about why the characters were behaving that way, or if they did, it was a very kernel of an idea, and then other Star Trekkers come back and kind of expanded on that.
Right.
I think that's interesting that's gone on as much. It's kind of reflective of a very big kind of universe, I guess.
Yeah. I sort of wonder about that. Like, going, taking, events that happen in these older episodes of the original series, and trying to explain them and kind of go, oh well, this is what was. I mean, I don't necessarily know that they need to do that, but
No, I don't think they
Um,
need to do it. I think
hmm,
actually at times I kind of wish they wouldn't. Like
yeah, that's
like
kind of what I'm. It's like,
Enterprise's explanation for why Klingons looked more human-like in TOS.
hmm,
It's kind of okay. It's an okay story, but it wasn't. It was fine to just leave that unexplained. We didn't have to have
it's
an
just really
explanation.
bad makeup, guys. You don't have
It
to.
was like the explanation Worf gives in uh
PNG, is it? Or...
in DS9 in the
Oh,
DS9
DS9, right?
episode that goes back to is the DS9 episode? Yeah, it's the DS9 episode that goes back
Because I think
to
O'Brien's there as well.
yeah,
So
because
yeah,
O'Brien's there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, the most important man in Starfleet. Um, he's
Okay.
he gives this. Oh, sorry, that's a lower decks reference. Anyway, so yeah, the in that episode, there's all these questions aimed at Worf, and he just goes, "It's a time we don't talk about." You know, and that's just
Okay.
and that's just the entire explanation. That was perfect. That was an absolutely perfect response to why there's a difference. Is just
An
Worf
embarrassing part of
going,
Klingon history,
we
kind
just
of.
don't talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
as in Picard in S3 when
Mm.
they're talking about what happened to the Enterprise E, and again, Worf just says it wasn't my fault, and we're not going to talk about it, right? And yeah, so that was great, and then yeah, Enterprise had to go back and kind of explain it, and I I don't I don't. You're right. I don't think it needed to be the relationship between Nurse Chapel and Spock doesn't need to be explained to a great extent to explain what was going on in that particular episode, right?
Mm.
Um, but they have, so there we are.
It's a thing now. Yeah, like everything
It's a
has to
thing
be a
now.
thing now. And it's like, well, fine, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Was just so good seeing Major Barrett. Um.
Yeah, I mean, I recognized her while we were watching, and I said, "Oh, that's Loxana Troy," and you were yeah, you were like, "Yep, that's right, that's who that is." And of course, I
Yeah.
already knew she was the voice of the computer and TNG and DS9 and Voyager and all that
Yes.
sort of thing. So she's huge part of Trek in general.
Yes. Yes. There's also an
But
interesting story behind her appearance on Babylon 5
oh,
because
she was in that too. Wow.
she was on Babylon 5 as well. There was a bit of a feud because you know that Deep Space 9 has some very interesting
Uh,
parallels to Babylon 5, and there's the whole story about how that came about, which is not necessarily everyone agrees on
ooh.
how that came about.
Oh, I want to
But
reveal the
anyway,
dust now. I want to
but
get a
but
little.
but
Yep.
anyway, there was a bit. It would be fair to say there was something of a feud, and Majel Barrett actually appeared um, on B5 in part as kind of an acknowledgement of trying to kind of settle that feud. Um,
Okay,
and that's
interesting.
part of why she appeared. She appeared. I don't know. Have you watched B5?
As an ambassador of peace.
Well, no. She appears as one of the original
Okay.
Centauri Emperor at the beginning of the show. Has four telepaths that are assigned to him that go with him and various other things. But anyway,
Oh, okay. No,
one of
Babylon 5. My memory is terrible. Yep.
okay, yeah. So no, one of the four. There's a very good episode where Malari wants to see his future and manages to invite one of the four telepaths that accompanied the old emperor
Mm.
for a reading, and Majel Barrett played
Oh, originally
that
that
telepath
character. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in B5. It only appears in one episode, but
Okay.
yeah, it was kind of accepted as a an olive
Interesting.
branch.
Okay. An olive
Uh,
branch, eh?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Huh.
yeah, she has not just Star Trek she's appeared in. She's the fact she appeared in Babylon 5 is quite. I mean that's the other thing. You'll see a whole lot of actors who pop up in
Mm,
both
mm.
shows. right?
Yeah, I mean, sci-fi being sci-fi,
Sci-fi being sci-fi,
show
yeah.
business being show
They
business, people will
they
move
pop up
around.
in
Yeah.
lots of shows. It's the same way that you've had um, Voyager actors turn up in the Orville. Um,
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
yeah. For example, Robert
I've never
Picardo.
watched The Orville, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. So Robert
Oh,
Picardo
Robert
played the
Picardo, the
Doctor.
Doctor. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
he
Yeah,
he pops up in the Orville.
The Orville. Huh? Oh, that's cool.
And I seem to recall Jonathan Frakes actually does direct a few episodes of the Orville as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, actually, if you haven't watched the Orville, it starts a
Yeah,
bit rough. Like
I've had people tell me it's pretty good. Yeah.
it starts a bit rough, but it is actually Seth MacFarlane, I think, really loves Star Trek and wanted to do
Mm.
classic episodic Star Trek, and so it
Oh.
is in a big way, right?
I thought it was just a
Um,
big parody. Yeah.
no, I think that the problem is that Seth MacFarlane, I gather, had to pitch it as a comedy to Fox, and so it does start out
Ah.
quite comedic. It's not intended to be a parody of Star Trek, but it does have a lot of kind of
It,
comedic overtones,
yeah,
which,
yeah.
as it goes on, get written more and more out to the point
Okay, okay.
where it does still have humor,
But it's
and it
more
still pokes
serious.
fun,
It's kind
but
of,
it's
yeah.
considerably more Star Trek serious like particularly by the time you get to the third series, it's basically Star Trek, right? It's
Wow. Okay.
there's yeah. Um, so yeah, you should probably watch the Orville.
Yeah.
Everyone listening should probably watch the Orville. I actually do quite like the Orville. Um,
Yep.
it has a rough start, but it's for a show that's supposed to be comedy. It's kind of interesting that their second or third episode out, they're actually it's really a story about transgender rights. Like a
Oh.
couple of episodes out, they're already swinging with
Oh,
fairly
cool.
modern science fiction
Mm.
morals, right?
Hmm.
That's yeah, but its first season is a bit. It has its moments, but
It's finding its legs, It's
yeah,
it's still got the very very I guess tongue in cheek approach. But yeah, no, I will check it out at some stage. But we've got a lot of Star Trek to get through, Dave. So I
we
don't know
have got
how
a
long
lot of
it's going
Star
to be
Trek to get
before I
through.
can watch anything else at this point. Ooh.
Well, we should
Yeah,
probably wrap it up. Our
yeah.
opinions about the Naked Time.
Let's actually talk about the episode we just watched.
The episode we just watched.
Yeah,
We just dived off into way
yeah, we did.
whole different other subjects.
We can segue. Damn it. Yep.
Yeah, I think we can. So,
Yep.
what score do you wanna go?
Ooh.
What was your best
Now,
moment and score? I think.
I thought this was, best moment. All right, fine. I guess. What was my favorite moment?
I didn't ask last episode.
No, you did. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, you didn't ask for favorite episode. Favorite moment. That's right. That's fair. Um,
No.
well, this one I am gonna say it's when Spock gets infected and he has to keep his
Yeah.
emotions in check, and it's a bit. It's like very contrived, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it was hilarious at the end how the time travel thing came in for all of like 2 minutes, and then it was dealt with, and they were on their way, and it was the end of the
Yeah,
episode.
that was it. Oh, by the way, you
We've
have time
discovered
travel. Bye.
time travel. All right, well, let's deal with that, and off we go. They actually say at one point, this changes everything and could become useful at some point.
But not right
you
now.
know, not until the fourth movie, I think it is.
I think I'm not sure. I don't know. That's the first. That I don't know if that's the next time that they actually use it, but they definitely use it
it gets
in Voyage
yeah,
Home, right?
it gets abused a lot in Star Trek after that point. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So what score? You need to score. You need
Oh,
to
score it.
assign
Yep.
a
Okay.
number that determines its goodness.
Yes. For all time, it should be known and marked with this number. Tell you what, I'm going to give it a pretty good score. I'm going to give it a 7.
A 7. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. High praise.
that is high praise. Yeah, I think I I kind of like. I just like the whole episode really a lot more than the TNG version of it, which is kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, you did say
Um,
that. Yeah, yeah.
so I think for me, the best moment is just the terrible biohazard suits.
Oh, God,
Like,
yeah, that's a
they're
good
just
point.
completely open. And then what kind of biohazard suit is that? Right? You've beamed down to the planet to have, and you've already worried enough to be wearing a biohazard suit from the off, and yet it's got this huge gaping hole, and they just put their hands up in it. And okay, yeah,
Look,
I mean,
I was kind of on board. My suspension of disbelief was intact until the crew member took off his glove and put his hand up inside his mask and started rubbing his
straight
face.
up,
And I'm just like, what are you doing?
I mean, I know this is all. We're recording this post-COVID, so we have
Yeah.
a slightly different attitude
He's the
about
equivalent of the dude wandering
viruses,
around
but
with a mask on under his nose, and you're like, no,
oh
pull it
yeah,
up over
those
your.
people.
Nah.
Yeah, so I think the environmental suit was just okay, whatever. Yeah,
It was a very hand wavy environmental suit. Yeah.
yeah,
Like, oh, they're wearing stuff.
yeah,
It's probably protecting them. Don't you worry about it.
yeah. It was a little bit too hand wavy. I think though, I actually did enjoy the episode a lot. I think it's worth 7 out
Oh,
of
you're
10.
once
7.
again. We are in
7 out
we
of 10.
agree.
I'm very comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It was just a good, enjoyable episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Really.
Nothing wrong with it.
So
I mean, well, that's not to say. Well, we gave it 7, so there was stuff wrong with it. But yeah,
well, no,
it was.
I don't think I don't think I'd record 7 as, oh my god, it's got all this awful stuff, but it's got more good than
it's
awful.
good. It's. Let's face it. If you were to give it a name, it would be very good.
I know it was an enjoyable episode of Star Trek.
Yes. Yep.
And
no egregious characters we hated.
No, I didn't hate anyone. Everyone, anyone who was annoying got dealt with pretty quickly, or
everyone had hilarious, character traits. Like Sulu running around with a sword. That was great.
Yeah, it was. And Kirk got his shirt ripped off again.
And he got grumpy, and he was like, "Arr!" Yeah, he got his shirt ripped again. So it's a good day for Kirk.
Good day for Kirk.
Yep.
All right, I think that's good. I think we've talked
another episode
far too much. Yeah, we talked a lot about other stuff.
We did, didn't we?
So yeah, hopefully, folks, this is vaguely interesting, and we're going to keep doing them anyway, whether you listen to them or not.
That's the way to keep them coming back, Dave. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't really care if anyone listens to it. I'm enjoying it. So
I'm enjoying this immensely. It's great fun.
All right, folks. Stay tuned next time. We will be watching the next episode, which is The Enemy Within.
Oh,
so
this is one I've heard is one of the big ones. I don't know.
Okay, really?
Yeah. No, that title rings a bell for me. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I guess I'll find out next week.
Yeah, we'll find out
next time.
Next time. We'll be next week. I don't know.
Well, for whoever's listening, it could be any time, really.
Yeah, it could just magically appear. That's low life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
See you all, folks. You have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.